Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for CSI Colour Story Inspiration Challenge Group. So this is case file 392 and as usual I've printed it off so I can continue to use it as inspiration as I scrap. So I'm definitely influenced by the colours in the image and also by some of the words on the written list. So there's two lists there. On the left it's evidence, and on the right hand list there's some inspiration words. One of them is wild and another one is explore, and they're the two that actually were the inspiration for the choice of photograph. So in the list of evidence, one of the things it states is pie chart. Now this list of evidence is very relaxed. You don't need to use all of these things. You could use one of these things or you could use all of them. Sometimes I see it as a bit of a challenge, but actually one of the ones says pie chart, inspired by the wheels in the photograph. So what I'm doing, I've used a chipboard circle as my guide and I've made a paper pie chart. It does hang off my A4 layout, but now I'm looking for papers from various crate ranges to actually use with this pie chart. So I've picked out Oasis, Here and There and Wild Heart, and I've picked out all the papers that are yellows, greens, teals, browns that go with the colours in the photograph. I'm not necessarily going to use them all, but I'm going to use some of them definitely. So when I made the pie chart and cut it out, I numbered the segments. That's to help me put it together easily. So I start off working my way through using them as a template and just seeing which colours I want to add to this pie chart. Now some of the pieces that I'm cutting now don't actually make the final cut, but that is completely fine. As I progress further, I start to tweak the colour. And I tend to go with more greens than yellows. So you'll see that as it happens. Now you'll see that the background piece of A4 is white paper at the moment. That's not going to be that. It's just for me to use as a size guide at the moment. I've already printed some photographs. I've printed 4, but I don't know whether I want to use all 4 yet. I'm hoping to use at least 2, and they're of a trip to Brazil that my son made with his friend, and they actually saw some toucans in a bird park, but they got really close to them. I've never seen a toucan in real life, so I was really chuffed when he did, and I definitely want to use these photos. So I've just moved on a little bit. I've got the pie chart in pieces. As you can see, the yellow's now disappeared, but I've got various shades of green, which is perfect to go with the original photograph. So I'm just looking here how I want these photos to go, and I'm just tweaking them a little, and that's why the white paper is there. I am going to replace it, but it's just to give me a visualization of space until I choose what I want. I really like this picture of this big toucan, but actually I think there's another one with 2 toucans on that is little fits better when I start to layer the photos. So this is the paper that I bring in for the background. It's an old Echo Part 1. I'm not even sure what the range was off the top of my head, but it's out of my use it up pile. So I thought it would be a nice, it's got like a, I don't know, distressed feel to it, and I think that was going to work really well with the type of photos, because in my mind they're in like a jungly, I know it's a park, but you know what I mean, it's that sort of rainforest type feel. So I thought this would work really well. So I'm just having a look where the pie chart would go if I cut that paper off, because I don't have to make it A4, but I have been scrapping A4 a lot more in the last 18 months, and I like it as a size. I think it's a challenge. I also find them they're easier to store, so I've been doing a bit more of it. So I've come in with my Prima distresser, and I'm going to just distress this pie chart, and then I'm going to start to think about sticking it down. I've obviously cut the cardstock for the back, the pattern paper from Echo Park, down to the A4 size, and I've gone through a load of embellishments from these crate paper ranges and out of my travel box to see what I could add to it. So you may notice there I hesitated picking up the stripy paper. At this stage I'm not convinced it's right, so I'm distressing all the others and I'll see how I feel. But a lot of the others I've actually repeated twice, across the pie chart shape. So I do replace that stripy one with a brighter green in the two places where it was, and I'm happier with the way that looks. So I've bring in the 3 photos now. I'm going to layer them upwards, and I was thinking of adding a journaling card, or I had a card at the beginning that said adventure. I don't think that's going to make it now. So I was inspired, as I said at the beginning, by the words wild and explore. So I'm going to use explore as my title. Now this toucan, this is from one of the Crate ranges. I can't believe I'm actually getting to use it. And I'm going to look at tucking some of the ephemera leaves underneath it. So when I look through the list of evidence that you can use on your layout, there's a number of things that spring to mind for this. Leaves, trees, branches, flowers, travel themed elements, circles, and the pie chart. Now there are other things that I may come back and use, but I've definitely got leaves and trees and pie chart in so far. I do find that these challenges are really good at getting you to shop your own stash, and actually, or stash bust, depending on what you want to call it. And I've really had a good look through everything. So even though a lot of this is crepe paper, that's just because these are the papers with the right colours. But actually some of these travel bits, there's some pink fresh bits there, I think. It's a Shenanigans title. I'll link to them in the words below. And it's just nice just to use things up, really. And I think we've all got quite a bit of stuff in our stash, haven't we, really? So these challenges actually make you think a little bit more about what you're doing and what you're using. And yeah, I think it's really good way to scrap for yourself. I love that black circle. It says OMG. That definitely needs to go on, because that's exactly how I felt when I saw these photographs with the toucans. I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to be there. I want to be in these photographs with these toucans. Maybe sometime, never, we'll see. Brazil is a little far to go, but you never say never. That's what I say. So I'm just working my way through the embellishments that I put to one side. Some of them, they don't actually even get hovered over the layout. They get put straight to one side as they don't fit, or they're just too big or not the right colour. And that's fine. It's just a way of narrowing everything down. So I'm trying to build up my embellishment clusters down the column of the photographs. So I'll have some at the top, some in the middle, that gap between the first and second photo, and then again just underneath the title, obviously not covering over any of the birds. So I'm starting to like the look of the way it's going. This card is really good, and it talks about travel buddies, but it's a little on the big side. So I'm actually going to cut off the words that I like, and I will tuck in travel buddies around the top photo, and I plan to tuck in the other one around the bottom, and it says life was meant for good friends and great adventures. And I think that's exactly what these photographs show. So I definitely think that gets tucked in there. So I'm just having a look at the puffy stickers now. There is an aeroplane in the middle of that circular die cut, which I don't really want. So I'm going to cover it with a leaf, I think. So I've come a little bit further on, and I'm just distressing the edges. They're all stuck down now, and I'm just going to add any finishing touches to this. So I bring in some letters from Dear Lizzie, and I'm going to just add to the title. I want to write Explore Brazil. So I've got 2 sets there, slightly different shades of green. It all depended which one had the letters that I needed. And even then I ended up using a V upside down to be the letter A, and just drew in the bar with a pencil, which you wouldn't notice unless I told you. So I want that word to go between the P and the R in the word explore. So I'm overlapping the stickers, and I just tested it out there to make sure it would actually fit. So I'm just putting this onto some leftover white cardstock, just so that I can actually then put it on foam pads when I attach it to the layout. So I'm just trimming it off the cardstock so you can't see it, and I will then be sticking this into place. And I've got some more shenanigan embellishments there on the right, and I'm going to be adding a few of those once I got this title into place. So I'm just trimming the foam pads so I can just add it to the back of those stickers and tuck that title in there. I'm really pleased with that. Now there is more I want to say, and I'm going to be adding that to the back, about a bit more about the trip that the boys were on. So there will be a bit more, there will be journaling to go with this, but I didn't think it had a place on the front. So I've just got some, as I say, shenanigans stars there, and I'm just going to add them with 3D dot just around the place. There's one on the camera already at the top and one on the geotag, which is one of my travel themed elements. So is the camera. I think they fit well. I've got a little geotag there that I've added around the title as well. They're just about to come on the website, so that'd be really good. Now I'm just bringing in these All and Create stamps, and I'm going to use them just to stamp a few triangles on the background. And I've just got the stamp on my hand. I don't want it to work properly. I want it just to give a light touch, just to break up the plain colour of the background. Now do check out these challenges, the CSI challenges. They are on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a blog too. And there are prizes if you take part as well. There are prizes to be won. So definitely worth checking out. And there's 2 a month, so there's lots of inspiration. Quite a big design team as well. So have a look how half the team work with one case file and half the team work with another. So as I say, lots of inspiration there as well. So once I've just got a few of these triangles on the background, I think I'm nearly done. I quite like the way it works. I think my son's shirt with the red actually adds a bit of a pop to go with the beaks of the toucans. So yes, very nearly there. So I'm just going to put those away, and I'm looking at the dimension, and I'm quite pleased with that against the list of things to use. Off camera I do sprinkle some white paint over the top, but please have a good look at the close-ups and the main image. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, or subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my videos, and I hope to see you here soon. Bye for now.